Hello everyone. Today we have a very gentle, calming and relaxing period yoga flow for all the girls out there. So I don't know about you, but when I'm on my period, I usually have aches in different parts of my body, and then I know that is different for different people. But today I'm going to be focusing mostly on releasing your hips, which can store a lot of stress, and our lower backs, which can also be an area that suffers a lot from your period experience. So as you can see, today's color is kind of period themed. So before we get started, I'm going to talk you through some of the equipments that might be helpful for you. So one of them is the bolster, and I have this bright pure blood red bolster. So this might be helpful for the final restorative pose that we're going to get into. And of course, always remember to hydrate on your period. So I have a cup of water here with me, and then a foam roller, which I won't be demonstrating in this video, but it will be very helpful for you to roll on it to release some tension that you might have on your period. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. And today is all about low effort movements, and there are gonna be no back bends, especially when you're heavy on your flow. So we're actually just gonna be staying on the ground. There's no standing up required at all, and then we're just gonna take it easy and relax and feel a little bit better about ourselves, even though you might be in pain. Okay, so to really keep my promise, we're really just gonna start in a very easy child's pose. Okay, so as promised, we're in this child's pose, and then you can also just already put your bolster in use. You can kind of sit on it a little bit if this is hurting you in any ways. Otherwise, you're gonna sit on your heels and bring your knees to be as wide as your mat, and then just walk your hands forward until your forehead is on the ground in this very relaxing child's pose. And we're just gonna get started with a couple of breaths. So breathe in and out deeply through your nose, breathe in deeply, and breathe out, just relax everything. Let go of all the pain that you might have. And if this position is already a little bit difficult for you, feel free to bring your bolster kind of right on top of your heels to help you to get into this child's pose. Okay, we're gonna be here for 2 more breaths. So breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, sink down a little bit more. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, relax. Perfect. And then from here, we're gonna come into a tabletop position. So bring your knees to be a little bit closer to each other, to be hip width apart. And then your hands are gonna be shoulder width apart. And then your wrists are stacked right underneath your shoulders. And then your knees are stacked right underneath your hips for good alignment, all right? And then we're gonna get into some cat and cows. And this is really to bring some relaxation into our lower back. So breathe in, arch your back, bring your gaze up. And you breathe out around your back, bring your gaze down. And relax your neck. Okay, so shake your head no, nod your head yes, to really bring some relaxation into your neck. Okay, and then breathe in, arch your back, bring your gaze up, and we're just gonna be here temporarily. And focus on the rounding of your back. Okay, and then shake your head no, nod your head yes again. One last time, breathe in, arch your back, bring your gaze up very briefly, and breathe out, round your back, bring your gaze down, relax your neck. So shake your head no, and nod your head yes. Perfect. All right, and then from here, one breath in, come back into neutral tabletop position, and you're gonna walk your hands forward a little bit, tuck your toes under, and then do a downward facing dog. So keep your hands and your toes firmly on the ground, and then you're gonna lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. And then you're gonna paddle out your feet,
paddle out your feet to bring some more relaxation into your body. Perfect. All right, so really get into it. And we're just gonna be here for a couple more breaths. Okay, and then you can keep your gaze slightly forward on the ground to protect yourself from getting dizzy. All right. And then when you're ready, you're gonna step your right leg forward. Okay, and then lower your left knees, and then untuck your left toes to be in this low lunge pose on your right side. Okay, so breathe in and out normally through your nose. But when you breathe in, really lengthen your spine. And breathe out, see if you can sink into your hips a little more. One more time, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, sink a little bit more. Perfect. And then from here, you're gonna pivot your hips so that you can straighten your right leg to come into a runner split, okay? And then keep a straight back sensation because that's gonna help you to feel a little bit better in your lower back. And we're just gonna be here for 3 breaths, okay? So breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. 2 more times, breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold forward. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold forward. Perfect. And then from here, you're gonna come back into a low lunge pose. And then see if you can straighten your right leg as well to come into a high lunge. And then step your right foot forward a little bit to be in a standing runner split. Okay, so also pyramid pose. Okay, so we're gonna breathe in and out for 3 breaths again. So breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. And 2 more times, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. Perfect. Then from here, we're just gonna come back into a downward facing dog. So you can step back your left foot a little bit and then your right foot. And then walk your dog a little bit. Perfect. All right. And then when you feel like you're ready for the other side, you're gonna step your left foot forward. Okay, in between your hands. And then lower your right knee and then untuck your right toes to come into a low lunge on your left side. Okay, and then just breathe in and out. Normally, you're gonna feel a lot of stretching in your right hip. So we're warming it up. So breathe in, lengthen through the crown of your head. And when you breathe out, try to sink into your right hip a little bit more. And one more time, breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, sink a little bit more. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna pivot your hips to the back so that you can straighten your left leg to be in a runner split. Okay, and then we're gonna be here for 3 breaths. So make sure that your hips are level. So both hips are equally pointing forward. And we're gonna be here for 3 breaths. Okay, so breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold forward a little bit. Flex your foot if you want more stretch. And then 2 more times, breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. Try to be in this straight back sensation when you breathe in. For the last time, and breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. Perfect. And then you're gonna come back into this low lunge and tuck your right toes and then lift your right leg into this high lunge pose. But then step your right foot forward a little bit so you can straighten both legs into the standing split or pyramid pose. Make sure that your hips are aligned and leveled again, and then we're gonna be here for 3 breaths. So breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, fold forward. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, fold forward. Perfect. And then from here, we're gonna transition into a downward facing dog again. Perfect. And then we're gonna get into the hip stretch a little bit more to come into a pigeon pose, okay? So with 1 breath in, you're gonna lift your right leg up and then bring your knee to your chest And then try to bring your shin to be parallel to the mat. Okay. Right shin parallel to the short edge of your mat. And then we're gonna be in this pigeon pose for 5 breaths to really deepen into this hip stretch. Okay, so if this is too much, feel free to bring your right heel in a little bit. Okay, so the sharper the angle that you're forming with your right knee is, the less intense it will be on your hip. Okay, but then if you really want to deepen into the stretch a little bit, try to keep your right shin to be parallel to the short edge of your mat. And we're gonna be here for 5 more breaths. Okay, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, see if you can deepen into this hip stretch a little bit more. 4 more times, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, maybe deepen a little bit more. 3 more times, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, deepen a little bit more. And 2 more breaths, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, deepen. And one last time, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, deepen, perfect. And then if you lower it onto the mat, prop yourself up onto your hands, and then untuck your left toes, come back into a downward facing dog. And then of course, we're gonna do it on the other side, okay? So when you're ready, lift your left leg up, and then bring your knee to your chest, left knee to your chest, and then lower your left shin down. So maybe left shin is parallel to the short edge of your mat, or if that's too much, feel free to bring your left heel a little bit closer to your right hip. Okay, so find a good position, but we're gonna get deeper into the stretch in 5 breaths. So breathing lengthen, and breathe out, lower a little bit more. So we're gonna be here for 5 breaths together. So breathing lengthen, and breathe out, lower a little bit. And then 4 more breaths, breathing lengthen. Breathe out, lower. And 3 more breaths, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, lower. 2 more times, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, lower. And one last time, breathing lengthen. And breathe out, lower a little bit more, perfect. And then if you lower down, prop yourself back up to your hands, and then tuck your right toes and come down into a downward facing dog. Right, and then from here, we're gonna slowly walk our feet up so that we can come into a seated position. Okay, and then we're gonna lie slowly down onto the ground. Okay, so we're first gonna bring our knees to our chest to give it a little squeeze and maybe shift side to side to massage your lower back. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a supine twist on both sides to really massage our lower backs, okay? And then relax our shoulders a little bit on the way. Okay, so kick your right leg out first. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot up a little bit to be on the mat. Okay, so kick your right leg out first. All right, and then release your left hand so that your left arm is open to the side. And then with the help of your right hand, you're gonna bring your left knee to your right side. Okay, so you can bring your gaze to your left hand to really deepen into the stretch. And then try to keep your left shoulder firmly on the ground. Okay, and this is a really good lower back stretch. Your lower back is gonna thank you for this. Okay, just be here for 2 more breaths. So breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, twist a little bit more. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, twist a little bit more. Okay, and then when you breathe in, bring your knee to your chest, and then switch legs. So right knee to your chest, kick your left leg out, open your right arm to the side. Okay, and then keep your right shoulder on the ground. With the help of your left hand, try to bring your right knee to your left side. Okay, breathe in and breathe out, push a little bit more. And then bring your gaze to your right hand. Keep your right shoulder on the ground. All right, and we're just gonna be here for 2 more breaths. So breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, twist a little bit more. And one last time, breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out, twist a little bit more. Okay. And then when you're ready, bring your knee to your chest again. Bring both knees to your chest and give it a little squeeze. All right, and then we're gonna come into a happy baby pose. Okay, so open your legs, bring the balls of your feet to be facing the sky. And then you can use your hands to push your legs a little bit closer to the ground. And then you can sway side to side. Do you massage your lower back a little bit more? Okay. And then when you're ready, you come back to knees to your chest and then come into a Shavasana. But one good trick that I'll teach you, one good trick for Savasana when you're on your period is to use a bolster to help you to elevate your heart a little bit, okay? So you can position a big bolster to be right underneath your waist and then going all the way to your head, and then keep your legs in a butterfly pose and then just lie down. It's gonna feel really good on your lower back, and it's gonna open your chest up a little bit because when we're in pain, sometimes we close up. So this is a great way for us to open our worlds when we're in a little bit of pain. All right, so feel free to stay in this position and then just relax for as long as you want. You know, like our bodies are going through a lot when we're on our periods, so give yourself this time to just relax and rejuvenate. All right. And then when you're ready, feel free to come back into a seated position. But that was it for our easy period yoga flow. I hope that you enjoyed this flow with your flow practice, and I hope that you're feeling better, and I'll see you next time on the mat. Bye.